Was I correct?
Yes, it is 226, because I already made a thumbnail for next week, which is 227.
Excellent. So long as I'm So, welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We are two friends in fiber who knit, crochet, craft, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
This is episode 226. It's a Sunday afternoon. I ordered McDonald's coffee. Things can only go up from here.
Oh, my God.
What?
Oh.
They can only go up from here.
I thought there was a fly on my microphone. There's been so many flies outside, and we get the flies inside, of course, the instant you open the door. And I'm like, I thought I almost ate a fly because there was a fly on my microphone. There's not a fly on my microphone. It's just a little knobbly bit that I just saw at the corner of my... Everything's fine. There is not a fly on my microphone.
This week's diversion brought to you by Not Jocelyn. I always derail. This is like the first, 5 seconds. Was it me this week? Yes.
Sorry. Well, I didn't want to eat a fly.
No, that would be bad. I currently call Winnipeg, Manitoba home, and Diana currently calls Waterloo, Ontario home. Diana usually lets us know what we're going to cover for the week, and then we immediately go sideways. So...
we've got what's in our cup. Cool. No, we don't have cool threads. It's hot. It's not cool threads weather. Let's try that again. What's in our cup? Woolly workings.
I don't.
Yeah, it's about that here. Wool gathering and literature.
And technically, it's not true because I will wear my socks like in the morning or like post shower when you just put lotion on.
Knitted socks are good at any time of the year.
But we don't talk about them because, my word, we would be here for hours if we talked about
these socks and those socks and those socks
we wear in a week.
Mr. Diana wore his socks.
Yeah, no, that's a rabbit hole we don't need to crawl down. That's a rabbit hole we don't need to crawl down. So that's fine. I already told everybody what's in my cup. I actually got a McDonald's. Funny story, if you go to McDonald's and you filled out their little coffee cards, because they got coffee cards, and you got one of I have many of these, and they are full of stickers. And you go inside and you use the app, you can get any size cup of coffee for free. But if you go through drive-through and you don't use the app, only medium and larges are free. The extra large you pay an extra 50 cents for.
Okay. Weird little
Do
quirk.
I care? No. Do I order cups of coffee using my free coffee card and don't pay anything with it and have somebody deliver it to my door? Yes. A cup of coffee still costs me, $3 after delivery fees. I don't have to leave the house, so it's the same as going somewhere and getting a cup of coffee these days. At my size, at the extra large size.
Man, the coffee delivery sounds pretty great. I didn't even make coffee today.
Oh, it's a Sunday. I needed relaxing coffee. I showered. I'm human. My hair's wet. That's how we're rolling this week, guys.
Yeah, I also showered. My hair dried really fast, and now it's fluffy. It's not what I was going for, but that's what we've got.
Here, I'll pull the microphone closer so I can not be echoey. And still lean back, so it'll be a little more in frame than usual this week. Bright side is I won't be echoey.
Yay, sound quality.
Yay, sound quality. Whatever.
Or something.
Something along those lines. All right. I don't know. What's in your cup? You didn't make coffee today, so obviously it's not coffee.
Yeah, I went for some black tea because, I don't know, apparently I'm 76 or something, so I've got some Margaret's Hope India Black Darjeeling from All Things Tea in Kitchener.
Yeah, I feel like not 80.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit old. I put it in a mug. Oh, I guess hey, look at this branded mug. Hey, look at this branded.
You're gonna have to talk about it, and the internet's not gonna let you leave you in peace till you finish now. You may have made a mistake right there.
It's fine.
Where's my mug? I want a mug.
Samples are coming. I
want a mug. Dang it.
So there's a merch store coming. We're in the stage of we've designed all the products and set everything up, and I'm just waiting to get samples to make sure they're a reasonable quality. And yeah, so far I've only received a cup. Still waiting on the clothing.
I need a cup. I need a zip hoodie. I need the tote.
Oh yes.
I need those things. They'd have to be in my life so I can be branded when I go places.
Yep. So, coming soon, pending arrival of all the samples, we're getting a merch store. Yay!
We're getting there. We're at the tail end of it. Now it's like double checking product quality, double checking our wordage choices. And then we're good. We're down to checks. Checks on the processes, checks and balances. So I'm excited because this has been a long project.
It has. It's
like all background projects. All background projects are long projects. They're not short. They take so long.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna plug the company I work for 2 seconds.
Got it.
So I work for Shopify. I get all the Shopify stuff for free because I work at Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna plug them for 2 seconds. Setting up the shop did not actually take that long. It was designing the products and writing the descriptions and like figuring out shipping and logistics and like all of the other admin stuff. But if you just want to go, I have a product, I'm going to put it on a store and release it into the internet, like, that takes like an hour.
Yeah, super easy. Yeah, it's
all the other admin stuff that makes it take months.
What did we want? There was a plethora of options and we went, okay, this is crazy. We need to like just, what is merch we buy?
Like, what merch do we want? What provider will provide this merch? Which provider has like the cheapest shipping because they're actually located in Canada and the US and not like in Australia? And
it's a lot of background research. It's a lot of background research. It's not fun stuff. It's stuff you have to do, but it's not fun stuff. And why do that when we could be knitting?
Exactly. So yeah, coming soon to an internet near you, the Northern Knits Podcast merch store.
Because we wanted an excuse to have more mugs and totes in our lives.
I'm really excited about the pullover sweater.
I want that zip hoodie so bad. So bad. I can't wait. All right. Yeah, it's 31 degrees in Manitoba most days. I don't wear anything other than wool socks post-shower, so I have no cool threads. I know it's way too hot and humid because your hair is having its best volume life.
Yeah, my hair's living a good life today.
So no wool for you either, which I guess means we're on to things we knit and crochet and work on. I go first because I have all the things this week.
You have all the things. I'm trying to be very monogamous because we have a knit-along ending in a week that we'll talk about in a minute.
I have 2 FOs, okay? So like at least I finished stuff this week. Diana's like, oh, of course you do.
All right, let's have it.
Listen, I had to redo that bralette. Remember? We discussed the boobs last week.
Right, yes.
Right, yes. So I finished making them smaller so they fit me. Not that this is, like, it's small for me, guys. It's not small for other people. It's small for me. Here we go. Let's hold it the right way up. So here's the racer back bralette.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do now is find some elastic. I want like I have a shoebox full of elastic. I have elastic. So I'm going to find the width of band elastic I want, and I'm going to make a cover for it. And I still have a lot of this yarn because, well, I have a lot of this Karen cotton cake yarn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to align the elastic because I'm still a bit big in my band because I want it to be something comfy I can wear to sleep, right? So I didn't want it to be super snug. So I'm going to measure the elastic so it sits and then crochet a cover for it, if that makes sense. And it will in a hot second because then I can have the crocheted band, the elastic, and then the top layer of the top. And then I can continue converting this into a pajama top, a racerback PG bralette top thing.
Okay.
Which I can do in the round And now that I'm over my rib cage, I can actually cut off. I think it's like it's loose at my rib cage, it fits in my chest, and I can bring it in 8 or 10 stitches and still have it semi-fit loose underneath. That is the size discrepancy we're dealing with here, people. So it is done. It's also out of cotton, so this stretches.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in the relaxed form. So step 1 is to wash it and dry it so it shrinks back up to as small as it's going to get. Then do my I guess elastic waistband, Empire waist lining, because that's where the elastic band is going. That goes in, and then I'm gonna put the tank top on underneath. And I'm just going to, because it's for home PJs, I'm just gonna do it all in the round. So it's gonna be the weirdest striped thing on the planet, since I'm using Karen cake in the gradients, because I'm using these cactus flower ones. But I still have 4 more balls. Now, I have shorts to make too, and I have been working on the shorts. I crocheted 3 rows on the shorts. I can only do so much in a week, guys. But this is the racerback bralette from Melody Makings. The pattern is well written. It is not Melody's fault that I have a bit of an extreme differential between my rib cage and my chest size, and that I don't have side boob. That's not her problem. That's my problem. The pattern is well written and quite size inclusive. So I also know, like, if I'd done this out of like an acrylic where there is no stretch to it, it would have fit better right off the hop, because I wouldn't get that stretch and drape you do from cotton. I know when I make another one, because odds are good I'll make another one, I'll also make the straps a bit shorter, because I made it the full standard 6 inches. I think I'd cut that back to like 5 inches. I think I'd cut an inch out of the strap length too. So but it's fine. It's an FO. It's done. It's
Yay.
done. I've started on shorts. And once that's washed this week, I can put her away with things. Do I keep going? Yeah, you've only got 2 things, so I got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Still in the Karen cotton cakes, because Susanna sent me cotton cakes, and I had to cast all of it on all at once. It had to happen immediately, because summer is the time to work in cotton in my mind. I don't remember what colorway this one is. Why did I not look it up before we started?
Because that would be like planning.
Oh, that's crazy.
We don't do that.
We don't plan. There's no plan. You know what would also be helpful? If I had the band the right way up. So I'm not reading upside down.
That does usually help.
Oop, Yarn Inspirations gave me their web page. That's handy. I might need to know that. This is made in China. I would say I'm shocked, but I'm not. This is the driftwood colorway. So I have an FO. Did I even start this last week? Was this a thing I even had on the go last week? Who knows? I ate up 2 Caron cotton cakes in the big size, so that's a little over 1,000 yards. It's like 1,050 yards. And I made a modified version of the Endless Islets cardie by Jessica. I've already forgotten her other name, her middle name and her last name. Already forgotten, guys.
Potage. I don't know. It'll be linked in the show notes.
It's a long granny stripe cardigan with full sleeves. I knew I didn't have enough for full sleeves, but I wanted a summer version, so I made little cap sleeves.
Oh, so cute.
Sleeves. And then I just made the body as long as I could go. So I have made a cardigan in about a week. No, I was working on the back. I was working on the back last week, so this is about 2 weeks. So, ta-da! And I even have my stripes pretty much matched up. And that's because if you guys were watching the Instagram stories, you would have seen the back folded up and then little tiny balls, because I actually went through and hand wound off each color and then split each color in half to do the front panels, so that the stripes would pretty much match the stripe width on the back, since the back is double the width of the front, because it's 2 pieces. Well, roughly, it's not exact. And then it is a lot of effort, but it's worth it, because then you get a nice stripe match and you get a nice smooth look. So I thought it was I thought it was worth the effort, so I did it. And then wee little cap sleeves. And of course, love it, in a contrasting color of white cotton, because I have so much white cotton. It's almost like I like white, and it's almost like I like cotton. I did just a half double crochet twice around, No ends have been woven in. Um, around on both of the cap sleeves, and then I did 3 rows on the bottom, so it'd be a bit thicker. No ribbon because I want this to like float and be a summer thing to wear in the summertime. And then I
Mhm.
did 2 rounds of that half double crochet around the neckline as well. So you got that nice color contrast trim. And
This looks so good.
this was great fun. Like I want to make another one with the full sleeve length and the full body length. Technically, it's a DK weight pattern, but I made it in worsted weight cotton yarn. I just went up a hook size, so I got the right drape and gauge for it. So I had a nice drapey sweater. So I think I'm gonna take this gauge that I did for this one, and I'll probably may end up making this again in like a wool, so I can have it for the fall. Because then you get that nice breeze coming through and you cool down, so you can wear it on slightly warmer fall days, but you still get
Mhm.
that warmth from the wool. So this is my cotton version to go over summer dresses, tank tops, the huge. And
Gonna
then
be
the
so
driftwood's
nice.
got. I really like this gradient. Does it look great on me? No. Do I care? Also, no. If I wanted to look good on me, I'll suntan. I'm not suntanning, so it's not happening. But it does have this really beautiful muted purple, yellow, pink rotation that I just really like. It's so
it's so
pretty.
it's very cheerful.
It is. I'm happy about it. So I finished a whole cardigan this week.
I could not claim anything close to that.
It's granny stripes, and I've been binging a lot of Criminal Minds, so it's good because you don't have to look at it. You just go. It's like working on a granny stripe blanket. You just go. How many more things do I need to do before you go? I have socks, a sweater, and shorts left.
I think you've got 5 things to my 2, so I think I can do a thing.
Cool.
I'll do a thing. Okay, I'll do the boring thing first. Hey, look, I'm still working on the second sock of Mr. Diana's pair of socks. Hey! It's so exciting. Um, the yarn was red-breasted nuthatch.
Mm-hmm.
He says with absolute confidence from Fireweed Fiber Co.'s sock club.
You would be correct.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a vanilla toe up sock with a fish lips kissed heel. It's now a month overdue. He might be whimpering every time he sees me knitting on something that isn't his socks because he really wants his socks. I might be very guilted into working on these socks, even though I keep picking up other things when he's not in the room, and then I feel guilty about it. And yeah, so these are socks of guilt right now.
Socks of guilt.
Yeah, they are socks of guilt right now. Still don't like the cheap needles I picked up at Michael's. The join is not good. It's very annoying. Do not recommend. Get better needles.
Get better needles.
The Michael's sock needles are not good. The join is not smooth. It is kind of a pain. It's workable, but it is a pain. Which
Well,
is also part of the reason they're not going as fast.
you have to go to your local knitting store and
I do have to go to my local knitting store. The lady who runs it is on vacation right now, so
That's
next
fine.
month. I can get better needles next month.
It's not like we've got that long till the month's over.
Yeah. God, it's like a week. It is exactly 1 week.
Yes.
It's less than a week by the time people are watching this.
Yep.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Where did July go?
I don't know, but it's gone. It's
Poof.
gone. It's run away. It's gone. It's run away.
All right, that was my boring thing. Would you like to talk about an interesting thing now?
I don't know if I have any interesting things. For the interesting fun stuff was the crochet stuff. I've been doing a lot of crochet stuff. What I'm currently doing is laying one sock on top of another sock to see if I'm at the heel or not. And yes, I actually need to do one more round and I'm at the heel. I am at the heel for sock 2, which means I've done exactly 4 rounds. Since last time I talked about my grayscale sock. You guys,
Hey,
it's been one of those weeks. Progress. That's fine. When I'm at the heel, I'll get it started. It's going to be the heel on sock 1 was a mock short row heel, and I'll do the same on this one. Most of the reason I want to do this is I want to free up the needles and get these socks done. And B, because I know once I slide into the coffee date socks, which I've got prepped and ready to go for the summer sock along, though these count too, because whips are welcome. I will not want to do other socks. I'll be happily doing that. And hopefully, I don't have a lot of things that require me to leave my house and I can just have house knitting instead of on the go knitting. I've been doing a lot of on the go, guys. It's felt weird, enjoyable, but weird. So, in theory, I'm actually, once I'm done this round, will be knitting on the heel while we record today. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. I did a little bit of work on the socks on Sunday while I was out at the I think it's the Longstead farm, Longhorn farm. I
Oh, I can't
always
help you.
get
I
it.
don't know.
I always get it messed up, and I feel really bad about that. It won't stick in my head. I don't know why it won't stick in my head. There's some names that don't stick in your head. We've all done this with stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
had a fiber market on this past Sunday, and I went with Aaron, and I booth babed it in 35-degree heat on a farm
Oof.
under a tent,
That
under a
sounds
canopy.
warm.
It was, thank the word, we had a steady breeze. I have never been so grateful for living in a flat prairie that gets nothing but wind all the time as I was that day. Because man, did that save us. Man, did that breeze save us. It was a
Oh yeah.
dry heat, which was way better than this Thursday when I was outside of the house when it was not a dry heat, but it's still 35 is warm.
Uh-huh.
I Miami heated it up. I wore white capris,
Full
white
summer outfit.
white summer vest, light blue shirt, like full summer outfit. Like we did not in any way, shape, or form wear any dark colors at all. My hair was up the whole day in a bun. I wouldn't. We weren't doing it. We were hardcore, hardcore living the summer life. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had fun. It was 8 hours. We were right beside Enchanted Grove. I don't know. You remember Enchanted Grove?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we had all the temptations, and then one of her alpacas gave birth. So we got new baby alpaca photos and stuff. So cute.
Oh
So
my gosh, I love
cute.
alpacas.
Oh, it was a good day. It was a good day.
Retirement plan, have a few alpacas.
Have a few alpacas.
They're so cute. They are cute and they are sassy and they are very photogenic.
They're really photogenic. They're excruciatingly photogenic. You're like, dude, you were meant to be on camera. You could hear sheep. They had friendly farm cats, like roll over, pet my Bentley, friendly farm cats,
Aww.
and we'll talk to you while we do it. So I was super happy. There was a lady there who was selling cut flowers. They were so pretty. They smelled so good. And of course, all fiber people. And to keep it so that the number stayed low, so you didn't have too many people, there was 2 locations. So you could do one place, then you could do another, and then they had a max capacity, obviously because of COVID restrictions,
Mm-hmm.
for the number of people that could come through. But we all had plenty of space and a good stiff breeze, so like everybody felt really comfortable and safe outside, good air circulation, and I mean we took care of I think all the booths had hand sanitizer. Like we made sure it was as safe as it could be given that it was a market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was really excited to see everybody do that, and everybody asked before they touched the yarn. Everybody, it was really nice to see everybody out and about and doing things and being respectful of other people's concerns and thoughts about it. So I was super, super happy. We have the best community, fiber people. Ah, oh, so happy. And I got to visit with Jocelyn from the Winnipeg Drop Spinners group.
Oh,
He
yay.
came and drop spun for a while and chatted with us. I haven't seen Jocelyn in 2 years. That's right. There's another Jocelyn out there.
Mm-hmm.
She's why we started spinning.
Yeah.
She's just as good at enabling as I am. Woohoo! So I was laughing and we were chatting and talking, and we just felt so good to visit with people. Even if you were like 6 feet away or in another booth or they were watching, it felt really nice. It felt real good. Ugh, it was so exciting.
I'm jealous. I went
We're
out to the
still
patio the
under.
other night.
We're still less than 100 cases a day right now.
I don't
So
think we're that good out here. But we
for
also have a
our
lot more
province, we're
people,
doing, yeah.
so
If you guys can get down into like the hundreds a day, you'll be doing great. Because your hundreds a day, like 300 or 400 a day, is like our 50, 60 a day based off our populations.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just have not been paying attention to numbers. They always just make me sad. So, you know what?
I
If the
like
numbers are
knowing.
important, I will learn about the numbers.
I like knowing. I'm never shocked when we have to go back into lockdown because I've watched the numbers climb. So, like, I know it's coming. I won't be shocked if we have to go back in this fall and winter because we're still nowhere near enough people on the planet with a vaccine. And this is a planet now. We're not countries. We haven't been countries in a good long while. We're a planet of people. So I know we've got a ways to go still. So I'm going to enjoy the freedom I've got while I've got it, knowing that it will be gone soon enough.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
one more. At least
it's not
one
really
more.
that big of a difference because I'm pretty much on lockdown all winter long anyway because I can only safely move around by myself while the sun's up. I live in the northern hemisphere.
Sun's only up for like 6 hours.
For a chunk of the year, yep, my go home time is 4 o'clock in the afternoon because the sun's setting for a little bit of the year. So it's not actually that different for me. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, your turn, and then
to...
I've got two. Yeah.
Okay, I have a thing. I'm trying to be very monogamous with my and not get myself tangled. I'm trying to be very monogamous with the Moherino medley because you know that knit along that we're running is over next week, and yeah, I'm not doing so well. Look at my little shawl. Woo! I have like a foot of shawl. It's supposed to be like 5 or 6 feet. Hey, but I'm making progress. I'm into the 3rd section.
You're at least trying. I totally gave up entirely, so.
So I'm liking this section much better than the last section because I had to count every other row in the last section. This one I only have to count once every 8 rows.
Oh yeah, that section
And the
would
others
be
are
much
just knit or
better.
purl. And I screwed it up yesterday while we were doing our
I remember that.
Our hangout with the Patreon folks. Let's see if I can find it. Because I thought it was just garter stitch and it was just you knit every row. But that is not it. There's a purl row in there every so often. And I screwed that up yesterday. And honestly, you can't even really see it. It's, I think it's this row right here is supposed to be a purl row. So that there's like a band of purl bumps. But honestly, like you can't even really see it. So
Like in a
I don't care.
7-foot long shawl.
Yeah,
No.
nobody's gonna like you can barely see it already. Like I think that's where I screwed it up. But it's not even that noticeable and I don't really care and I'm not gonna go back and fix it and it's fine. Everything's fine. It's all totally fine. So yeah, it's coming. Slowly. Not as quickly as I would like. But it's coming. So I have the week off. I have I'm on staycation for a week. So I'm gonna try really, really hard to get this done. It's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna try.
Hey, I'm down for some Critical Role rewatching and knitting.
Yeah.
You know I am.
We can definitely do some of that this week.
We can Critical Role like it's our job this week. I'm fine with that. Oh no, that's such a hardship. Ah.
Oh no. Ah.
Let me just.
There are some things I need to get done this week, but we can definitely do some Critical Role.
One don't I have things that need to get done on a week. Darn adulting.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm prepping to start my heel. Here are my sock.
Maybe I should have had coffee today. I was feeling good about life, and
We
Yeah.
start recording, you start yawning, and I start sniffling. We can be perfectly fine right up to this point. But the moment we hit the go button, it's a
Ah,
problem. I'll be pretty quick because I got two things, but like one of them's literally a strip that makes no sense right now. So remember that shorts that I was gonna make to match the tank top? I'm still gonna make them, but I have that much done. It's not even a thumb width of the
very nice
pant
stripe.
part. A very nice stripe. She's got it set up. I think it's not a really well written instruction pattern, guys. It's free, so like I'm gonna just figure it out. It's free. I'm not paying anything for the pattern, so it's fine. She's got it set out so that you're making half the shorts at a time, and I wanted baggy shorts, so I added extra stitches because I want baggy, comfy pajama pant
Mm-hmm.
shorts. I don't want anything restrictive while I'm sleeping. And again, I'm going to stick a wide waistband in just to hold them up
Mm-hmm.
or a drawstring and be done with it. So these won't really have a ton of shape on me when they're done anyway. They're not supposed to. That's not what I'm making them for. Making baggy hot pants, which just sounds funny. I'm going to look so not cute. So don't care.
Hey,
So
but
in
they'll be
theory,
comfy.
I will be stupid comfortable while I'm sleeping, and that's the point. In theory, I understand what it is she wants me to do, and I am following the instructions as best I can. There she's got the like when she wrote out the rows, the actual written instructions on what you're supposed to do on each row make perfect sense. Her numbering system is off. So there's no row 3, there's 2 row 4s, there's 1 row 8 where it's not supposed to be. So it's like I think that's where the problem is. So I'm going to go through and make the first side. And if I don't like it and I want to make them smaller or it turns out wrong, like at least I'll be able to see what's gone on. And again, with
Mm-hmm.
crochet, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
So it's fine. In a free pattern, it's fine. So I'm not super worried about it, but I might end up making them and then ripping them and making them again. Totally legit. Well, see, that's what I had left over from my endless eyelets cardi.
That's not much.
I crocheted till I couldn't crochet that endless cardi anymore. Oh, goodness. Super small nubs. All right. Oh, my nose. Anyway, that's my quick short update. It's now a strip. The instructions still don't make sense, but we're going to try anyway and see what happens. Because I didn't make the pattern, so I don't know. There could be some sort of just magic that occurs.
Sometimes there is magic.
Well, I was going to work on my Saturday morning sweater while we recorded today. I forgot to go get the was the other thing I had to go get from the bag that I never went to go get.
Uh-huh.
I forgot to go get where I have a little sheet of paper with colored squares on it that I'm crossing
Mm-hmm.
off as I complete rounds. I do know I had 2 squares checked off and I only have 2 squares left to go, which means I've made 4 rounds. I've made it through 4 rounds.
Well, hey, it counts.
The slow, steady progress towards splitting for the sleeves continues. There are a lot of stitches, you guys. It's a boxy sweater, but we are getting to that sweatery shape where you get that bulge out
Mm-hmm.
because you got your shoulder parts in here still.
Yeah.
So we creep closer. I'm still making my way through my second ball. So I know I'm making progress. I just didn't make as much as I wanted to. Strangely enough, I didn't super want to knit on a sweater at 35-degree heat, and I super didn't want to knit on a sweater at 24-degree heat with humidity on Wednesday. So
Big surprise.
big surprise, I didn't do as much work as I should have. Which, you know what, I'm not giving myself grief about because I can't wear this sweater till the fall anyway. It's too warm for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen. But that's it. The Saturday morning sweater is by Dragon Horde Designs, and I'm making this one out of some acrylic so I can wash it and dry it and put it on my person for Saturday mornings and stuff. I'm gonna put my hair back up in a bun because it's
I'm
bugging
realizing
me.
that I'm not sure if I actually said what the pattern was that I was making.
You may not have.
I can't remember. So just in case I didn't, this thing that I was talking about before is the Moherino Medley by Stephen West. I'm quite certain I didn't say it was by Stephen West, and I'm doing it out of a kit of Walk Collection, merino and mohair that I got at the Stephen and Penelope store in Amsterdam when I was there in 2019
Mm-hmm.
on my honeymoon. That I had to buy twice because the first one got stolen along with the camera gear and my passport.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember. It was not a good week for either one of us.
It was a bad week.
It was a bad week for both of us. We were not having a grand old time. Okay. We're done talking about things that we've been working on, which means I can move this sweater to the side before I knock it on the floor
One
and
of my
get
lights
mad at
went out.
myself because I've knocked it on the floor. Because I would get mad at myself. Do you think I could finish a pair of shorts and another tank top this week?
Yes.
I do have that deadline with Louise coming up. It's starting to bug me at the back of my brain pretty hardcore, as opposed to only moderately hardcore, which has been doing up till now.
I think we're on to wool gathering,
We are.
which means it's time for the weekly unscripted Patreon ad.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you can do so at patreon.com/northernknitspodcast. If you do that, you get access to our Discord server, which I messed around with the bot a little bit. So now when you subscribe on Patreon, it should theoretically automatically give you a link and you don't have to wait like 8 to 10 hours for me to actually see it and send you a message with an invite link.
We might find that helpful.
Yeah. Permissions. Permissions are weird. Anyway, so you had access to our patron-only Discord server where we chatter about everything all the time, always, and early access to bonus content and the weekly, bi-weekly at the moment, Experimental Tuesday blog posts, where we cook or do something experimental. Usually it's cooking something experimental, but sometimes we do experimental things. I might have to try making some dye out of the hibiscus flowers in my yard that I just learned existed yesterday that I'm really excited about. Did you know it makes blue? Or like a greeny, like if you, because you would think these flowers, that's the flower I have in my hair right now, you would think it would make like a pink or a red or like, nah, I poured some hot water on this because apparently you can make tea out of the flowers. So
Yes.
I made some tea earlier and it made like a tealy, greeny, blue, like a pale, like 1950s teal.
Yeah.
Where in this is there teal? Anyway, apparently you can use that as dye, and so I have some bare yarn up there that I was gonna dye with purple cabbage, but I think maybe I want to do it with hibiscus because the blue is really pretty.
I know to get pink, you need avocado pits.
Yeah. The peel and the pit of an avocado make different colors.
They do. These weird things, guys. The Fiber Friends are doing a dye challenge weekend, which is why all of this dyeing stuff is coming up. I'm loving
That's
watching it.
why. Okay.
I'm love
I've
watching
just
it.
been seeing in Discord, everybody's like, I'm dyeing with this. I'm doing an indigo dyeing class. I dyed with onion skins. Like, what?
Where did this
I
come
didn't
from?
know you
Yeah,
could do
that's what
this
they're doing.
stuff. So
I want to
yeah,
try with walnuts,
Mhm.
which technically you don't need a mordant for, but I'm going to use a mordant anyway. And I want to try solar dyeing, but I have not had the time or funds to get naked yarn. So it's just got to wait till I've got a chance to do that.
Yeah, I need to figure out about mordants for natural dyes.
Yeah.
I need to learn about some things. So yeah, that's going to be an experimental Tuesday post coming your way in the future.
Mm-hmm. So those are things that are going on. I honestly just don't have the time at the moment, so I'm not super worried.
Have I forgotten anything about the Patreon stuff?
We covered Experimental Tuesdays. We've got bonus content whenever it shows
Oh,
up.
the next knit-in for the higher tier support folks is gonna be, that was English. It was totally English. Don't even worry about it. The next one is August the 21st at noon Manitoba time, which is Central Daylight Time.
Daylight savings time right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CDT.
I think that's it for the Patreon for the moment. As far as I know, that's it. We've got a couple of live things coming up. We're closing it on the first Sunday of the month, which means we'll be live on YouTube the first Sunday of the month because we've been enjoying that.
Mhm.
It's weird, it's wonderful, it's wacky. We invite everybody to join us. That also happens at noon Manitoba time, just because it seems to be the time frame that works the best for the most number of people. So that's what we're going to do. We can't make it work for everybody, but we can certainly try. So that is what we do. What else have we got going on? I've got my next monthly check-in with Louise on her channel, which is Wildflower and Wool, on Thursday, the 5th of August. We'll have to see if I
Mhm.
got that 8-bit sweater done. What else did I have? I also had a shawl on the to-do list, and I also had the patchwork cardigan on the to-do list. I like big challenges. I'm a fan. So that's going on. And then I think that's it for lives. We do have a couple cows going. We're wrapping up the spring cleaning cow. Diana's giving it a good heave ho. I gave up entirely. Therefore, big foreskin plus projects. So you have till the end of the month to ish. We're not like it is the 1st of August. Close everything. That's not how we
Nah.
function, guys. We're like it's the 4th. We should probably close that up.
It's ish. It's always ish.
Ish. So make sure you've got your entries in if you want to enter for prizes. The prizes are electronic patterns because we don't mail things out anymore. So I will get a hold of you. Mailing is hard. So I'll get a hold of you once names are drawn and we'll pick a pattern and I buy it for you. So that'll be going on shortly. Yeah, because we wrap that up at the end of the month. So if you got your entry on Instagram and you've used the hashtag NKP Spring Cleaning at Cal, which is KAL, we will see your entry. If you've not, we won't see your entry. If you don't use Instagram, you can also post it on Facebook in the Facebook group using the same hashtag so we can hunt them down and find it. And if you've done that, we will see your entry. If you've not, I won't see your entry. I'm not psychic. I try really hard. It doesn't work. I'm trying to figure out what the
We need
cat
the
thinks it for.
hashtags, please. Please hashtags. Otherwise, the admin is just insurmountable.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't scroll that much. Good. I'm not that good. So please, 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 if you want to enter, get your stuff in. I know I'm bad for drawing names. Like Asa, our moderator, just drew names for the podcast anniversary Cal we had earlier this year because I kept putting it off and doing other things. Because
Oh,
it
I thought
just
that.
does.
I forgot about that. I thought it happened already. Wow, it shows how on the ball I am. I pay attention to what we're doing.
Neither one of us put out, like when we participate in Cal's, neither you nor I enter for prizes because that's not why we're doing it. So it just floats right out of my brain because that's not why I participate in Cal's. I forget that some people participate in Cal's because they like that goal, that prize opportunity, and because it doesn't drive me, I forget all the time. Like, I'm always, well, what is it? For fun I was posting in the Halloween craft all the things that Laura and Louise from the Knit Girls do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else had to tell me I won a prize because I was not did not even occur to me to even notice that prizes were being drawn. I was just like, oh, this is the hashtag you use so other people who love Halloween and craft stuff can see the things I was making. So that's why I used the hashtag. That is like, oh, and you won a thing. Discord told me probably weeks before I would have noticed on my own because I just
That was funny.
It's not why I do Cals. It's not why I participate in Cals. So I just don't notice. I don't. It was the same like the other time I've won something and they're like, and you won, and I'm like, I completely forgot that those comments were prizes to enter. I just commented because you said something that was funny and I had to reply. It's not a thing. I go, prizes, let's enter. It's not my thing. So I forget so much.
Which isn't to say that we don't like giving out prizes. We just forget.
It doesn't occur to me. I want to give away things. It just doesn't occur to me that I need to actually, the giving away part. I'm missing a step in this process.
Give it away.
Well, that's me, guys. That's me. As it is, I still haven't reached out to the winners for the podcast anniversary, Cal. They've been pulled. I got to do that this week. It's sitting in a thread for me to do. Asa gave me links. Asa is amazing. She can only do so much, guys, then she hits the wall that is Jocelyn. My ability to not get stuff done is renowned. Oh my gosh. All right, what else we got going on? The summer sock along is going on, and that's going to go on till the end of September. Yes, end of September. Yeah. So that is all socks, all adult socks, whips, are super welcome. Let's get some second socks done and get some socks off the needles in time for fall and sock season. Sock season. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere and then off the needles in time for summer.
Well, I suppose if you're in the
Seasons are
southern hemisphere, it's winter right now, so yeah, knit them socks.
knit them socks. So that's going on. We've got the lovely Nikki Knits, who has been making sock patterns with our names on them. What?
So excited.
What? She's doing some prizes for people. So if you want a free pattern from Nikki Knits, you absolutely have to use the hashtag so she can find you. This is important.
That's our hashtag as well.
That's our hashtag, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, hashtag
and
NKP Summer Sock Along.
Yep.
We're starting to put everything with NKP on the front of it just so we know it's ours.
differentiate it from everybody else's sock alongs and
Yeah,
cleanings and cows
yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So get your entries in for that. I know Diana's working on the Diana socks. I know the Jocelyn socks are coming out shortly because I've been seeing all the test knitters in the Discord share pictures with me.
I want to make the Jocelyn socks too. They look nice.
I want to make the Jocelyn socks as well. I'm going to start the coffee date socks. I hope this week. I want to get the heel and the leg done on the grayscale socks so that they're done and off the needles and I don't have to worry about them anymore. And then at least I finished a pair in 3 months.
Yay!
And we know my track record with socks. This seems wise.
Oh, and also Nikki Knits had that code for the, I believe it was 25% off the Reps and Rest sock pattern.
Yeah, that was for this month, right? For celebrating her daughter's birthday?
Yep. So until the end of July, you can use the code MARVEL, MARVEL, for the Reps and Rest socks by Nikki Knits, 25% off. I will put all of that in the show notes.
Show notes. Links are handy, guys. What else do I got going on in here? I think that's it other than yarn acquisitions. Ooh, wordage.
Acquisitions.
I was at a booth, so unshockingly I came home with yarn. And we have the monthly sock club yarn to talk about. Do we want to start with monthly sock club yarn?
Yes.
Cause oh my god, this is cheerful.
Okay.
It needs to be Jocelyn socks.
I was thinking it needed to be Diana socks.
She's never going to knit a pair of socks with my name on it. I'm going to knit a pair of socks with her name on it, but that's how that's
I will make the Jocelyn socks. Don't worry. It will happen.
I can't read the label, but you can. And I can show off the yarn.
American Goldfinch.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at how flippin' cheerful.
It's so cheerful.
So good. So, like, it's blowing out my camera. It's so bright. These must become Jocelyn socks because my socks are textured. And I actually, because I showered before we started podcasting, I actually have socks on my feet right now. So I can tell you her socks are great to put lotion on and then stick your feet in. Because in fact, her February sock colorway is on my feet right now. She's going to next year release these as colorways once the sock club is all done.
So pretty. So pretty. I still need a sweater. And I
the red,
need a sweater of the
red-breasted?
red-breasted nuthatch.
Yeah. So like I know more of these will be coming home at some point because they're so freaking pretty. How can they not? But these are definitely becoming Jocelyn socks, I think. Cheerful yellow textured socks with this little pop of color. Little pop of color. Yeah. I'm not sure what color it is I'm seeing in the pop of color. But I'm also not sure about the mini contrast either, and that's just because my eyes are tired.
Very dark gray.
Okay, thank you. I thought that it was either black or dark gray. I can't quite tell the difference anymore.
Charcoal.
Okay, so these need to be socks. Oh, can you imagine putting on a pair of Jocelyn socks in January or like March for our birthday, and it's just this cheerful during that dark, cloudy season?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, it'd be such a pick me up. Such a pick me up. So that happened. It's actually been sitting in frame for everybody who's been watching all month. I just haven't said anything about it. Remember I had the stack of boxes?
Spoilers.
I had the stack of boxes in the front in the space there. That was
Mm-hmm.
yarn that I was packing up. I finally moved the stack of boxes. As you can tell, they're not there anymore, blocking the doorway. But
Mm-hmm.
on top of the boxes, the yellow. It's just sat in frame the whole month.
Well, I also did not notice.
I was looking for
So,
him last night and I went, wow, that's been in frame all month. Cool. Some
well, I didn't notice. So,
eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed that. Oh my gosh. I did get more of Erin's yarn. Well, I was working Erin's booth. We had to know it was going to happen. And I picked up some sparkle yarn.
sparkles.
Sparkle yarn. I picked up 2 skeins of the
Pretty.
same color. This one colorway is called 29 to celebrate her 29th birthday. And how can you say no? Look at that.
Oh, it's
Look at that.
beautiful. I love it.
And yes, I'm going to make them into socks, I think.
It's sparkly.
Sparkle socks. I love me
Want.
some sparkle. Love me some sparkle. Well, I saw them and I was like, oh, yeah. But of course, right now, for all of Erin's yarn, my first go to pickups are Magnolia or Raspberry Orange Sherbet. In any of the lines, those are the 2 colors I go for first. Apparently,
They're
that's
good
what I'm drawn
colors.
to. That's what I went. So I picked up 2 skeins from that. It saved me from buying like a sweaters quantity in baby gray alpaca. Like
Uh-huh.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then I'm gonna do a sample. I'm gonna do a sample crochet for Erin, so she's got a sample display, and I'm gonna make the hexagonal. I wrote it on the ball band itself in Jocelyn size font. Hexagon baby jacket because I have the pattern. I've made it before, so I'm gonna whip her up a quick sample knit for her. So I'm doing some
I like
work
those
for her
colors together. That's pretty.
in DK. Yeah, I told her to pick the colors because let's be honest, guys, it's for her. It's her sample crochet. I'm just doing it for her. And it's black emerald. And this is on her DK base. I may have honestly written over the colorway for this one. Nope, jade. So black emerald and jade. So I'm gonna make a quick little hexagon baby jacket for her and crochet.
I'm excited to see that.
That stuff's not staying here. That's going back to her when I'm done with it. But it's a 2 skein DK weight, 12 month size baby hexagon striped jacket. So it's a sort of a twist on a granny square jacket, so people can see what her stuff looks like crocheted.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yeah, I would totally do that for her. So that's my yarn acquisition-y stuff. Things I've received.
I have August and September yarn up there too, and it's nice wrapping, and I'm being very good at not opening it.
Good for you.
Unlike some people. Sherry, what?
Some people are not good at waiting. In a weird change of events, you have books and I have none. I'm still in criminal mind mode.
Yeah. Everybody hold on your hand knit socks. I finished 3 books and Jocelyn didn't read any.
Didn't read any.
Which is not to say that I started and finished 3 books. I just finished 3 books that I've been reading for way too long. So this past Tuesday was the gamer sci-fi fantasy virtual book club that I joined a few months back. And so this month's book was Small Gods. I finished it with 7 minutes to go before the meeting, cutting it real fine. That was Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. I give that 3 stars. Like, it was good, but maybe I just wasn't in the right mood to read it. But it's like that dry, sarcastic British humor, but with a heavy dose of just like abstract absurdism and also a lot of religious references that I only kind of get because I didn't grow up religious. But I'm sure it was very, very clever. Anyway, I don't know. It was fine. I enjoyed it. Probably don't need to read it again. I finished Cinder
Mm-hmm.
last night. Stayed up too late doing that.
Uh-huh.
I really enjoyed that.
Uh-huh.
And I know there's more books, and I see
Mm-hmm.
where it's going, and they've
Mm-hmm.
set up more books.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe I'm just not in a place to read series right now, because this is, I think, the fourth or fifth first book in a series that I've picked up this year, and I finished it and been like, okay, that's good. I don't need the second book. I know there's a second book. They've set it up so there's a second book, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't know, but it was a really good book. I'll probably read the rest of the series eventually.
Watch fall rolls around. Jocelyn! I'm in book 3. How did I get here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not in a series place right now.
Everybody goes through that. It's normal.
But I really like how it was done because it's the Cinderella story, but sci-fi. And
It's
I
a
actually,
nice retelling.
if it wasn't like if the main character's name wasn't Cinder, I don't know if I would have picked up on it being the Cinderella story.
Not for a good long while.
Not yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was the end of the book and I was like falling asleep, or like I finished the book and I'm like falling asleep and I'm like, the car was orange like the pumpkin. I did not pick up on that at all while I was reading.
It is a really good retelling because it makes you think it's a new story. And at the end, you put the clues together and you're like, oh my God, how did I not see this beforehand? Even though going in, she doesn't hide it.
No, like we've started off with like her name is Cinder, obviously. This is a telling of Cinderella.
Yeah.
I almost kind of wish they hadn't done that, so it would be like more of a reveal that it was the Cinderella story. Anyway,
Yeah,
and then
it's fine.
they also set up for a Rapunzel retelling and the one with the wolf and the Little Red Riding Hood. There we go.
The one with the wolf.
The one with the wolf. So
and Sleeping Beauty.
don't think that was
Not
referenced
Sleepy.
at all.
That's is Winter Sleeping Beauty or is Winter? What am I trying to remember? What Winter is?
Like it could well be.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just the only setups I encountered were for Little Red Riding Hood and Rapunzel.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Book 4 is Winter, and I think that's or is that the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? I think that's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know. I don't remember. I read it and I loved it. I recommend it and I don't remember. It tells you how well things stick in my brain right now.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Winter. It was really good. But no, they're really good retellings because you just enjoy the story for what it is. And then you get those little bonuses where it hits story points where you're like, what? What? Yes. So much yes. Scarlet's a good one because it definitely flips the myth on its head and sort of turns it 90 degrees. So it's a whole other beast. Whole other beast. It stars the wolf.
We're so clever.
We're not clever, but we're gonna think we are, so it's fine.
And the third book that I finally finished was also for book club, but it was like last month's book club. It was June's book club book, and I finally finished it this week.
Okay.
Neuromancer. I finally finished Neuromancer. I didn't like it. I feel like I'm supposed to because I'm into like sci-fi and all that stuff.
You don't have to like everything you read in the genre.
I guess. And I realized it was the thing that was setting up all the tropes, but it's like, we're gonna jack you into the Matrix, and I just can't get Sam Riegel doing the NordVPN ads out of my head. And it seemed really corny, but then there was also just the aspect that the whole thing's told from a character who kind of doesn't care if he lives or dies. And so he just kind of explains everything with a very disinterested air and like skips some details, but maybe he's high today, so like this unimportant detail gets described in a great amount of detail because he's high right now. And I only understood what was going on, like about 60% of what was going on at any given time. I didn't like it. It was not the book for me.
See, as I'm contemplating an Expanse reread because we've got the next one coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
We've already discussed stuff doesn't stick in my head very well.
Especially if you binge books. At least I find for me, the faster I read a book, the less I retain.
It doesn't seem to much matter. It's the same with most of the any entertainment that I absorb. Unless I'm expanding my knowledge base, doesn't stick very well. That's fine. It means
Yeah.
I can enjoy rereads, and that works great for me. So I've been contemplating doing that, knowing I remember enough of the story of The Expanse. I don't have to, but I might anyway, just for the enjoyment of it. So things I'm thinking about doing, and I'm a fantasy reader. Of the
The
two of
Expanse is a
us,
good series.
The Expanse is a good series. I'm more into fantasy. You're more into science fiction, and there are fantasies I don't like. There are mainstream, considered classic fantasy stories that I'm like, I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or I liked the movie better. Just not words that come out of my mouth very often.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So happens both ways.
That's it. That's what I read. I finished some books.
No, really, all I've been doing on my downtime when I've not been listening to podcasts and doing work has been watching Criminal Minds and crocheting.
And you have a whole sweater to show for it, so
I have a
like
whole sweater to show for it. I will shortly be out of seasons on Disney Plus to watch. There's like 15 and they only have 11 on Disney Plus or something. Am I worried about it? No.
that's a lot. That is a lot of
It's a
wow.
lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Am I worried about it? No, guys. Canada won't get last season's British Bake Off till early next year.
Ugh. I
But if
don't
I
get
was
the Canadian content
American,
laws. It's
I was
just
American, I could have watched it the same time it came out in Britain. It makes me grumpy.
I don't
Makes me
it's
grumpy.
the internet. It's the internet. It's its own country. The geographic location of the data is irrelevant, but apparently it's not, and it's just
And
annoying.
it's not like I don't consume Canadian content. I consume Canadian content. Am I going to be honest and say a lot of it's accessible media incorporated? Yeah, I'm visually impaired and I like accessible media, so I watch and listen to those programs. Do I watch a lot of CBC content? Yeah, I watch a lot of CBC content. I enjoy CBC content. That doesn't mean I don't want to also watch the British Bake Off. Because I want to
Mm-hmm.
watch the British Bake Off, not just the Great Canadian Baking Show. I want the Great British Baking Show too. Dang it. I want both feel good competitions because everybody just cheers each other on to get through the challenges and they don't go whiny backstabby politic nonsense.
Ugh. No, I don't
Blah,
like that kind of reality
blah.
TV.
I don't like that, but I like the baking ones because everyone's just I got a spare 2 minutes. I'm finished early. Can I help you finish something? What?
So nice.
And
That's
it's like, and with the British one, I get to learn a bunch of different baking terms and about different desserts and things I've never heard of before. But in the Canadian one, I'm like, dude, I know what an enamel bar is. I've made them. It's fun to watch other people make them, but I wanna see different stuff. Different stuff, you know?
mm-hmm.
You know? So I don't know. It makes me grumpy. I'm not a huge fan of Canadian content laws. I watched a lot of Acorn TV while I had that free membership and then I paid for a month and I watched a bunch. I enjoy British TV shows and Australian TV shows too, but holy Hannah. It just annoys me that if I lived, 2.5 hours south full time, the content I would be allowed to consume would
So
be
VPNs are a thing that exist.
just technically still cheating, and I won't do that.
Fair.
Alignment
Just
is
say.
too close to lawful good. My alignment, I struggle. Listen, you've seen how hard it is to get me to jaywalk.
Fair. I thought that
And
was
that
just
was
because curbs
before.
are surprising.
No, even before the cane, getting me to jaywalk was a pain in the butt because I'm not comfortable doing it. Yeah, that's right. I wait for the lights to change on the corner. I am that human.
I think I lean much closer to true neutral than neutral good, maybe.
I think we're both in the good alignment, but I think you heavily lean into neutral and I heavily lean towards lawful.
Yeah, no, I'm totally good with ignoring the law if the law is stupid.
I can, but it's a struggle. Now more it's curbs are surprising and I don't see cars. So I tend to go to curbs and wait for lights.
It's very much lawful when I was younger. The older I get, the more neutral we go.
I think so. I think that's how that works.
The more towards chaos.
Chaos, yeah. So that's fine. But
on that note,
yeah, we're finished. And you'd still lose the fight in a dark alley. Don't do it. So I'm gonna say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.
Now, don't get me wrong. In a video game, you rob and thieve like crazy pants.
I mean, if nobody's around, why not take the bucket? I don't know when you might need a bucket.
Just so long as you don't steal what other people can see you, then we don't have to fight the people in the town we're in. And that's all I really care about. That's fine. You can take as many things off walls as you want.
I didn't know that clicking on the bucket was going to pull aggro on the whole town.
If it had been for something more than the bucket, I think I would have been happier about